can see that it's obviously not doing too good because it's just sitting there. A healthy fox would have ran away by now.
I'm Yussef Rafik and I'm a zoologist and former zookeeper. I've spent years working with animals, so I know how tough but also rewarding it can be. But now I want to try some of the more unusual wildlife jobs out there and meet the dedicated people behind them to find out if I have what it takes.
Today I'm heading to the Fox Project, where they rescue and treat over 1,000 red foxes every single year, including up to 300 cubs. So I'm very excited. I'm going to be spending the day with the Fox ambulance team, and hopefully I get to help out with some of the rescues.
Foxes are supremely adaptable mammals that have conquered every continent except for Antarctica. They've also spread into our cities, and about 35% of red foxes now live in urban areas. But as they learn to survive in our human landscapes, they end up coming face to face with new threats.
Hi Stacey.
Hello, hi.
How are you doing? Nice
welcome
to meet you.
And you, welcome to the Fox Project.
Thank you for having me. Oh wow, hello. How are you doing? So tell me about the Fox Project. What is it you do here?
So we rescue injured and orphaned red foxes who have had a range of things go wrong for them basically. So then they come into us to receive some rehabilitation and then go back to where they've come from.
And why is it that foxes need our help?
So the species have actually declined by 50% over the last 25 years. They're a species that are so misunderstood.
Well, I'm very excited to be here today. What are we going to be doing first?
So we will be cleaning out the casualties we've got in.
Okay, yeah.
So obviously we put them into nice clean shorelines, give them the medications that they're in to receive, obviously give them a full assessment again just to make sure wounds are healing nicely and everything. And then, give them a good breakfast.
So we've just prepared breakfast. A lot of people think foxes are meat eaters, are carnivores, but they're actually omnivores. So they eat a broad range of things in the wild, everything from earthworms and berries to small rodents. There you go, Ruby. Enjoy.
But just as the rescue foxes tucked into their delicious breakfasts, we got a call that there was a fox in trouble a small drive away. So I headed out with Jodie in her Fox ambulance to try to find it.
Okay, we've literally just arrived now, so we've got to hurry. We've got to go and see what kind of condition this fox is in and try and catch it. It's not easy to catch foxes. They're very quick. They can run up to 30 miles an hour and fit through really small spaces. So this is going to be a bit of a challenge for Jodie. Let's go. So we've got to be very, very quiet. And we can't get too close because we don't want to disrupt the fox and ruin Jodie's chances of being able to catch it, because obviously we don't want to distress it any further than it needs to. But you can see that it's obviously not doing too good because it's just sitting there on the lawn and it's not moving. So a healthy fox would have run away by now.
Can you bring the cage, please? So, if you can pull that out and open it, thank you. And get ready to close it.
Okay.
Ready?
Yeah.
There you go. That's it. Hey, baby.
Oh. There we go. Successful. Right, we've got the fox.
We did.
Got the fox in the back of the ambulance. I think that's quite a smooth catch, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was a very good catch.
Let's get him back to the hospital. Brilliant. My heart is still pumping. So we've just got back to the hospital now and we're just going to weigh the fox and then we've got to check its general health and see what kind of treatment it will need. So this is a fully grown fox, this is an adult.
Yeah, fully grown, full adult. So what we tend to do is check their gums, so we go from head to tail.
Okay.
Just so that we're not passing anything that's down the bottom end to the top end.
Okay.
So he's probably going to bite this, so just be prepared.
Yeah, that's fine.
So he has got some blood on the top of his muscle as well.
Got a good bite.
Other things we check, like how the teeth are the way we tell how old they are as well.
Okay.
So he's got good white teeth.
Yeah, they look very clean.
So if Jody can get him to stand up, just so that we can check he's using all of his legs. So both limbs feel okay. There don't seem to be any swellings.
Is there something in particular that foxes often come in with?
Mange is the most common.
Okay.
Leg injuries is probably the next thing we see a lot of. So what you can do is pinch their toes, and that will give you whether or not they have reflex in the legs.
Okay. Has this one got reflex?
Not in the left currently. So if we can try and get him to stand up, because I just want to feel his hips.
Can I take my hand from
Under the jaw, yeah. Yeah, ready?
Yep.
1, 2, 3. So yeah, it's definitely on this left side something is going on.
It's not putting any weight on it.
No. So he's got a lot of swelling around his rear end as well. So I'd say he's probably got a pelvic issue.
Okay.
So there is crunching in there.
Oh.
So I'd say he's likely got pelvic fractures. So unfortunately that is unlikely to be a good outcome for him.
Oh no.
Yeah. I might pop it.
So what happens now for this guy?
So we will get our vet to assess him and make the final decision. So he will decide, if he has a chance, if we can do anything. But if not, he will be humanely euthanized. So to end his suffering.
Shortly after, the vet passed us the sad news that the fox's injuries were too severe and he wasn't going to make it. I really felt for Stacey and the team, and it must be the hardest part of the job when they put so much effort into rescuing an animal that they clearly really care about. Afterwards, Jody took me to see some healthier fox cubs in a nearby woodland to try and cheer us both up a bit.
Oh wow. Very inquisitive, aren't they?
Yes.
And how old are these guys?
They're about 6 months.
6 months. Are they related, or are they is this just a group you put together?
This is a group that was put together when they were fostered from babies.
Okay.
Although these young foxes are in a group now, foxes are mostly solitary animals. So after they're released back into the local area, they'll be free to disperse as adults if they choose to.
So we have to, because foxes are so intelligent, we have to have a gate system where one is closed and the other is open, because they will quickly dive out and they will quickly burrow out.
Okay, so you'll lose them.
Pretty quickly, yeah. They can run fast, jump high, dig quick.
Do you know what, I was thinking on the drive up here, I've never actually seen a fox cub in real life, let alone been this close to any of them, so this is just incredible.
These are beautifully healthy.
So when you've got a fox in and you've got it recovered and it's healthy again, why is it that you can't just release it straight from the hospital? Why do you have to have a place like this?
When we release them, they get released to the same location that they were found, because that's already their marked territory and their known territory.
Oh, I see.
Whereas if we've got cubs, we tend to put them into a pen and rotate around different fostering sites so that they get used to the change and adapt to the changing environments. You can take a handful of chicks and hide them. Just bury them under the hay or the straw, wherever. I tend to stash a few in amongst the biscuits.
Do moments like this make the job worthwhile?
Yeah, definitely, absolutely. I'd come here in my free time and just watch them all day and do it. So it's just a bonus that it is my job.
Whilst the cubs munched on their treats, we were called back to the hospital because a new emergency, a different cub, was about to arrive for assessment.
Oh, we got a fox. Poor little guy. So you're going for the scruff of the neck?
Yeah. So that helps protect my hands and just almost acts like what his mum would do to him. Lovely, thank you. So if you pop that down. So he is 3.6 kilos.
Is that good?
Fairly good for a cub. We would prefer above 4, really.
Yeah,
But yeah, so it's not kind of surprising. He's probably not getting as much food as the others, especially if he's got this bad mange.
It's very sore. So what actually is mange? Because it looks rather nasty.
So mange is caused by the canid mite.
Sarcoptic mange is caused by a mite which burrows into the skin, causing intense itching. When the fox scratches, infections can then move in, so it's important that they're treated as soon as possible.
Is it a pretty good prognosis?
Yeah, if we've got them quick enough.
Yeah.
So obviously, if they're covered head to toe in the cracking, in the detritus, it is still a good prognosis. We've bought quite a few. Owen down the end, he came in absolutely covered head to toe.
Okay.
He's looking so much brighter
Oh,
already.
okay.
But it's something that, it's quite heartbreaking because it's something that's so easily treated. So we'll pop him into bed and then give him some good dinner.
With his first treatment complete, it was time for bed. Next, it was time to head back out with Jodie and release a fox that had been successfully rehabilitated.
Right, so me and Jodie are back in the fox ambulance and we've got Chris in the back because we are off to release him. So he's going to be released at the same site that he was found. So we've got a little bit of a drive now. But yeah, I'm really excited to actually go and witness my first ever fox release. There he is. Right. So time to release little Crisp.
Crisp was rescued 3 weeks ago from the same neighbourhood with a leg wound, and he's made a brilliant recovery.
So is there any technique to this? Do you literally just open the door?
Open and fingers crossed.
And release.
He will run away.
Okay. He looks like he wants to get out of there.
He's very eager to be free.
Oh. There he goes. Back into the wild.
And he knows exactly where to go.
How does it make you feel to be releasing a fox that you've looked after?
It's kind of like a proud mum moment.
Yeah?
And letting them go off into the world on their own.
Back out there into the wilderness to fend for themselves.
Yeah, it's very rewarding.
Yeah, I bet. So that's it. Crisp has been released back into the wild, back in the wilderness. He ran off quick as a flash. But that does mean that sadly my time here today with the Fox Project has come to an end. But it's just been an absolutely incredible experience. And it's been great to follow along the journey of all these foxes, especially one like Crisp here, where it's been such a positive success story. And I just feel incredibly lucky that I've been able to be a part of it today.
A few weeks later, I got the news I've been hoping for. The cub with mange, now called Cuba, has made a great recovery and was finally ready to be set free. On his own, this young fox wouldn't have made it. But thanks to wildlife rescue teams like this one, even a little fox in a big city gets a second chance.